don't know what that means, but if I hit you, you're responsible for your stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm assuming you have like little HP buffs if you transform or stat buffs.
Yeah, I typically have not transformed really, but who knows? You never know.
Yeah. I'm loose, so I'm not too worried.
Where are you based from? Are you in the US?
No, I'm Canadian. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Nice. I haven't been there.
It's cold, and there's not much to do here unless you want to go.
Good.
Unless you want to see the Rough Riders, and you guys have far better football. It's not too bad right now. We did have a couple bouts of -30 before wind chill.
Wow. Yes.
That's Celsius. I'm not sure it's Fahrenheit. It's pretty close to -30 Fahrenheit, I believe. Or -10 Fahrenheit or something.
Yeah, I'm on the east coast of the U.S. We're in a cold snap right now in the teens Fahrenheit.
Yep, finally. Looks like we're seeing the start of a heat wave.
A heat? Oh, back in the 20s, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't know what it's like in Indiana. Do you get lake effect up where you are?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're not north or not. You
up north? I'm in like northern Indiana.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm close to as north as you can get.
Okay, so you probably do get that lake effect stuff.
I don't remember if I'm on this list or not.
Hey, Chai.
Oh, we're getting -22 Fahrenheit over Christmas.
-22.
Oh boy.
I would never walk outside.
Yeah, well, it was over Christmas, so we didn't have to walk outside. Oh yeah, just sorts Sear-Sha.
Yep.
So John is just posting that when we're finished, let him know or post on Facebook. So he'll, I guess, whatever. Is he streaming?
Yeah, he's streaming it.
Oh, nice.
Who signed up for this one?
We have a good crew here. It's a pretty brawny crew.
Am I signed up for it? I can't remember.
I don't know. I see your token.
Whoever's token I got was on the final list. So,
well, there's my token. So.
Bleachy was on there. Shadow, Pockets, Sear-Sha.
So you've got two one-eye paladins, and one of them is like a top-of-the-line prosthetic, and the other one's more do-it-yourself.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Then you have a fish lady with no eyes.
Yeah, I was a little unclear with what happened. Are you there now?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
What happened to your? I guess I missed that thread. And what happened to your character's eyes?
I wrote it out really quick, so it was a little vague. Because they let the constructs loose in the town, and who was it? Typhon sent me to go talk to the fish people right before they attacked the town. I was like, why not? She was out of magic, lose something in the battle.
Wow, that's taking one for the team. Wow, that's hardcore. So is your character like, could she function?
She has her cloak. If she loses her cloak, she can't.
Oh, wow.
Pretty metal.
That is metal.
I'm going to take you right into an anti-magic field to start, and this is terrible.
See, Chai is like Bucky Barnes, and Chad is like the pirate from Family Guy with two peg arms.
Something like that.
Rub it in.
I figure a couple more missions of him doing stuff like that, he's going to be like RoboCop without his armor.
What just happened here?
Well, there is the method. We could totally do that.
Yeah, we could take him to the golden golem.
Kind of cut out there.
So we could take him to the golden golem.
What is going on here? Come on.
But that's the worst case scenario. When I die. It's not a matter of if, it's when.
Yep. Everyone just give me a general mic check, starting with Andy, work your way down.
Yep, check.
Cool. Chad.
Check.
Chai.
Waka waka whoop whoop.
All right. Sear, you sounded all right. And then Tim.
Check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Beautiful. And then if you guys don't mind, I should be able to remember Typhon, but just have your character name in there as well for me.
Oh, yeah.
It might matter, so if I don't do it, well, it's because I'm really good at this. So I think
Chad H, as if there was another Chad in this campaign somewhere.
Yeah. Wasn't there another Chad?
Nope.
Oh, that's too bad. I think John will have started the stream. He said he was going to start it right at 6. So I think we can get started. I'll just...
I think Chai will walk next to Typhon in case he needs it.
We're running.
Cool. All right, so I would like to do a little bit of a little recap. Basically, previous survey team went into this, what's called this area where the Hall of the Maker, essentially, to investigate. Where a previous survey team had gone, and what had happened is the first survey team had met a very large construct and decided to make their escape and were not pursued. Second survey team, however, were able to avoid said construct, but that construct was then released onto the town. It's great. That survey team, that whole situation, unbeknownst to them, went and searched deeper within the Hall of the Maker, found a few interesting items. The final one being a little stone carving that some of them had recognized to be a similar shape to that of the stone cunning key that Pockets was in possession of. Chai, can you give me just a straight wisdom roll, please?
Give you anything you want, big boy.
All right. So Chai is able to easily guide you guys in without any problems. You don't feel the need to lock the door behind you as the guarding construct is currently busted up and broken back at camp, and the previous overseer would have been disabled by the group that had left here. He then takes you through a few of the halls, showing you the if, ands, and buts about the area, and then eventually into the cistern. It takes him a few minutes to remember, but eventually it comes to him as to how to operate the switches here. And that's where we're going to drop you in. You guys are currently on the opposite side of the cistern at the door where the stone cunning key seems like it would have a place to fit.
All right, who's the most nimble of us here? Oh, we're over there. Okay, never mind.
So you guys will find yourselves at the bottom of the map. And that's where you need to be, right at this door here. Let me delete the one. delete. So at that doorway, you guys can see what is indeed this little sort of carved out hole of a very fine shape, very pockets. You would know that this is obviously the same shape as the stone cutting key.
Because I learned my shapes as a kid. Pockets just sort of walks up to it and you guys ready?
Oh, stone cutting key is at the bottom of the map, sorry.
Oh. That was all fancy. It looked like the place. All right.
Yeah, he got so excited he started walking in the wrong direction.
It's possible. It's possible that happened.
You might have been doing
still see
a
the
running
face.
jump, a running jump to slam the key in.
So Pocket raises the key
Typhon,
in the air and says, "Well, here we go." And he sticks the key in and gives it a little turn this way or that to see if anything happens.
Sure, you try and turn it. Nothing kind of happens at first, and then you watch as these four little almost claw-like items begin to kind of wrap around it and grab it, kind of like the claws on a diamond ring. You watch as that key then sort of pulls back in this sort of octagon type shape, and then you watch as it spins backwards. And as it does that and it sort of disappears from your vision, that door raises up.
Well, it worked.
Looking into the room ahead of you, directly ahead of you, what you can see is a round table. It looks like it has some books on it. There's a scattering of old-looking papers, and then directly ahead you can see about 20, 30 feet ahead of you, two bookshelves to the left and right of another passageway and what looks to be another door.
Pockets sort of looks behind him at everyone else and then sort of thinks for a moment and decides to, just in case, check for traps.
Sure.
I'd like to help with that.
Give me an investigation roll, please.
Oh boy.
You have advantage.
Hey!
You're looking, you begin like feeling on the wall. You find a little bit of debris on the ground and you shoot it at anything that might stand out to you, like a tile, just looking for tiny little depressions or anything like that. You pass a quick blade along little edges here and there. There are no traps.
Coast is clear, guys. Let's check this out.
does anybody not have dark vision?
Typhon casts light on his sword.
All right, give me 1 second. We'll just go like that.
Okay, Typhon, you want me to take front? You take the back.
No. That's not how Typhon do.
Well, Typhon only half the man he used to be.
Oh, not quite. Yeah, go ahead, look for traps.
So you guys check for traps. You haven't found anything. Are you venturing into this room? What are you doing?
I'll go in first.
I mean, I cast light on my sword and I head on in. How sturdy does this walkway look?
That is
This walkway you've already actually crossed. This is a little bit of the cistern that she had brought you across. The door of entry is actually at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
I will bring you guys in.
Oh, what is this place?
1 second.
Oh, fun.
I think I'm missing Shadow, am I?
I'm actually by the cistern for some reason. I was on top of Pockets. There we go.
There we go. All right. So this is the room you're currently in. Looking about now again, as you enter directly off to your left, you see another door that is currently closed. Again, the table in front of you, a doorway directly ahead, and coming in even further now, you're seeing more bookshelves here on either side.
Sear-Sha, can you go look? Oh, never mind.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
Even without eyes, I still have better vision than everybody here.
Yeah, you got.
I know I don't have eyes, but if I did, I'd be rolling them.
Can we check out the books?
Yeah, I want to check out this bookshelf.
Sure. What are you looking for? General information? Anything specific?
Anything about the nature
of bag with us?
Anything about the nature of the maker?
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
Yeah.
What is everyone else doing?
Did we bring the same
bag?
I can cast Aid on.
It's feast or famine there.
Damn, son. That's awesome.
Nice.
Got a 20 and a 1.
So, as you begin pulling books, just looking for any information on the maker here, you're really not finding anything in particular that stands out into that regard. Everything is a vague reference. You do find things that are interesting, especially with that kind of role. You begin pulling books, and what you're actually begin seeing is these rough drawings of automatons, for one. You find they're very nondescript in a lot of ways. They look like rough sketches, potential desired designs, I guess. You do notice that you've dealt with Mark 1s and Mark 2s before. You're seeing designs here up to Mark 5, all very varied, all rough sketches. Going into more books and seeing what you can, you do find a little bit of information on the Well of Souls here and references to that. You find a bunch of books that are discussing the refinement of the method. You knowing this as the extraction and transfer of the mind of creatures into the constructs. As well as there's a little bit of discussion of these constructs, and maybe stands out to you a little bit, of them developing or retaining a free will, and attempts to remove this free will, and discussion of disposal of such the brain casings of these constructs.
Wow.
I don't know if it's possible, but can I skim through the books to see if they had a way to animate the arms?
Give me an investigation check as you begin to look yourself.
Can I help him with that?
You're currently, this is going on while you're doing yours. You've already been kind of searching, so I'm going to have him do this by himself.
Okay.
It's more of the same as had Shadow going and looking through these items here. You're finding more of the same. There's nothing specific on how to animate the arms. Any information you do find involving animation of constructs always involves some sort of brain case or soul chamber.
Well, you're screwed because you ain't got a brain. Okay, so we can search through them more later. Maybe we can piece something out to help Typhon with his arm.
Yep. So let's grab up those books about those 3 topics that you mentioned and put it in our packs.
Any other books of note? Smithing, alchemy?
Nothing that you're really seeing here. A lot of it seems to be theory craft here. This seems to be more of a place where they either had some form of designs or notions of that, or discussion on different theory involving their constructs specifically.
Chai and Shadow notice pockets basically going through like the aisles at a supermarket, dumping all the books into the Santa Claus bag.
Sure. Sure.
We're gonna need a bigger house.
At this point, I regret telling him how much the bag holds.
Yeah.
You can't see it.
And to be fair, like some of these books are so old, like when they get touched, like you watch as the pages basically fall out of them and break into dust, and you're just
Shadow,
putting
be
this.
careful. Shadow, be,
You're essentially putting a book cover in there, and some of these books have seen better days. They've been left for quite a while. Moisture has definitely been in this room, but you've been able to recover a few that are of value, and a lot of potential kindling for fires, I guess.
I'm no bibliophobe, but that's harsh, man.
Well, I figured that some of the more bookish types in camp might find some of these things interesting, but I don't know which is which, so might as well pile them all in.
Yeah. Can you do it carefully?
Oh, sure, right thing.
Give me a dex check to see how careful you are. Oh yeah, you're careful. Not as gentle as a lamb, but it's very smooth as you run your arm along the back and they one by one fall into your bag.
It's a good thing we like you, Pockets.
Yeah.
And once Pockets is done collecting said bucks, he hands Sear-Sha the bag back. Thank you very much.
Anything on the table?
Sure. Give me.
We put the table in the bag.
Oh my god, we got a table now for the cow.
The table is very firmly attached to the ground here as you try and lift it, hoping that maybe you'd have a nice new round table to your collection, I guess. Give me a investigation check. I'll say Typhon, do one as well as you are trying to lift this table. Oh yeah. You don't notice it as you're kind of getting distracted. You're looking at a few prints of different designs for these automatons. Some of them look quite detailed, none discussing potential enchants or automation, but they look very nice. Whereas you, Typhon, looking out onto this table, you do see one thing that stands out, and it's this sort of metal square, and you can see this sort of handprint that is rested right on it.
Is it a left hand or a right hand?
It has thumbs on both sides. Ask you not to discriminate.
I will put my arm in it. You're done lost one.
No.
Legit question.
Might lose a hand.
Oh no, you actually you didn't see that.
I was there.
We said you didn't see it.
Oh.
Oh, if you haven't mentioned
But
it,
either way, as soon as I saw it, I'd touch it.
Okay, first,
I had the hand for the job.
Right before that happens, Pockets, I actually need to get you to do a perception check as you're the one sliding these books off.
Alright. Oops.
I'm going to say it's good enough. As you began to slide these books off, you just noticed on each one of these shelves, as you just knocked everything essentially onto the floor, making a big mess. And some of you guys, he probably pointed out to you, maybe, I don't know what Pockets would normally do, but you see four ornate kind of non-lit stones with a little blue coloring to them, one on each bookshelf in these corners here. Typhon, as you press that, your hand down onto that plate, the door directly behind Sear-Sha slams down.
Uh-oh.
You guys can see that stone cunning key currently still has those teeth in there, holding it in place. You also begin to all notice that it is starting to get quite cold in this room.
Oh shit.
Guys,
Typhon pushes his way past these two.
Okay, who touched what?
I don't know if this has anything to do with our present predicament, but I found a shiny stone on each of these here bookcases in the different corners of the room. I don't know what that means, though.
So there, so I understand what's happening. The room's getting colder. The door that we entered slammed shut, but there are still 2 doors in the room. Yes.
Yes.
So let's try. Let's try to open this door.
Okay, so you go to this door. Give me a investigation check, as it is just smooth on the outside.
Sear-Sha, what he's doing this, can you...
Man.
You're looking around and you're not finding anything. Like, you're checking edges, you try and give it a little push and lift, and it's not moving at all.
Then I'd want to go to the other door and check the other.
I'd like to see the stones Pockets found.
Yeah, I was going to say, since you know magic better than the rest of us, can you check them out?
Sure. What are you doing with the stones as you're kind of looking at them?
I just want to see, do they look like magical stones or just regular gems?
Give me a Arcana check.
Yes.
Nice.
Beautiful. As you kind of look around it, you do investigating further. You can see these slight outlines of arcane runes written into them. And as your finger brushes the one stone, you watch as it kind of lights up blue for a brief moment and then dims once again.
All right, Pockets, where did you find these?
I left them where I found them. They should be in the corners of the bookcases.
Yeah, they're embedded into the wall here. So you got one here, and one here. With that slight pause, as it begins to get cold, I want everyone to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Everybody within 10 feet of me has +3.
Uh-oh.
All right, so Pockets and Sear.
Okay, +4.
You will have that addition to your...
I got a 16.
Right, I rolled a 4. So I'll just say everyone below a 13 at this point is going to take 2 points of cold damage. Everyone else will take 1 point of cold damage. You do notice, though, that this room is getting colder and colder.
Let's try that south door, this door.
Okay, what do these stones say? What are these runes?
They're arcane runes. We can find out. Are they like in a little device, or are they just sitting on the shelf?
No, they're embedded directly into the wall and are kind of encased similar to that the stone cunning key.
Oh, so they're like actually buried in the wall.
Yeah, they're buried into the wall.
So you can't
Pockets
remove
runs
them.
over to where the stone cunning key is and tries to remove it from the door.
Sure. You do that. Those little claws that are holding it in place cause it to not budge an inch.
The key's stuck. I don't think we can use it in the other holes.
If I put my mage hand on the jewel, what happens?
Would you put your mage hand on the jewel? It lights up for a brief moment, and then it quickly dims again.
Oh shit.
Shall we try touching all the stones at the same time?
I think that's a good idea. Could I try the door first?
Sure. Give me an investigation check. It's the same story. You're looking through this one. You're checking the wall, trying to just budget, move it, do whatever, find some sort of handle, not finding anything.
Okay. So let's touch all the stones at the same time, as Sear-Sha mentioned.
Okay, count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Click.
As you touch all of them, they all light up blue. They stay blue. The cold begins to dissipate, and you hear a loud ka-chunk sound coming from the door you just entered from, and from the door immediately to your left and down south on the map. You all solved my freeze.
Woo!
Wonderful. It was getting a little cold.
So which door did we come in? We came in this one down here, right?
No, you came in from the north here.
Okay, and the stone cunning key's stuck in that door?
Give me a perception check as you kind of glance backwards to it.
So cold in here, I was starting to cut grooves in my plate mail with my nipples.
Wow.
You just, a quick glance back, Typhon, you notice that the stone cutting key is still there, but those 4 claws that had locked it into place have since retracted. Also, I'll say, gazing about the room as you do, you notice a familiar marking into these 2 doors on either side, and that their shape seems to fit a specific part of your new arm.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. So first things first, get the stone cutting key.
Okay.
And bring it back and give it to Pockets. Say,
Very much, Typhon.
this. And then he actually, so what, is this other key like built into my hand?
Yeah.
Okay, is it like a finger or is it just like in there somewhere?
You just would have to like pop off your shield for a moment, and then you could just like press it in there. It's
Oh, okay.
You would, yeah. You then have to prod around to see what you need to do.
Okay. All right, so we came from the door to the north. We got the key back. Sounds of things, all 3 doors unlocked?
You're noticing that again, the door up top, the stone cutting key is out. It is still shut. And then the door to the left and to the south have familiar holes consistent with slots on your new arm that you have.
Typhon shows his little hand key to Pockets and then points at one of the other doors and he says, "Which one do you want to check out first?"
I don't know. Let's do the one over here.
Okay. So go over. He doesn't have his shield on. His shield's on his back, so he can use his hand. And
Sure.
He opens up the door.
Sure. All right. So you stick your arm in there, a little jiggering. You find that it's quite easy to just twist. And as it does, you watch as what looked like flat stone begins to turn in this small little 6-inch radius circle. And as it does that, you hear sort of a click, like a lock giving way, and then the door begins to rise.
Oh, interesting.
So you don't care what Boozer said. You are useful sometimes.
I guess you could say I'm pretty handy.
But all right. And then there is another door in front of you. This one, though, as you look at it, just looks like a simple stone door. You see a clear groove into the front of it, vertically, down its center, as well as what looks to be handholds built into the door itself.
While they're figuring out that other door, I'm going to start pouring my decanter on the side of this door and making it solid ice, just in case this thing decides to close down on us again.
Okay.
Smooth move. That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty smart thinking, lady. I like her.
Yeah, except she locked us in here behind a wall of ice.
No, only on the side, not the whole door.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so yeah, Typhon walks up and grabs a handhold and tugs on the door.
Sure. As you do that, just opens. Give me 1 sec. I'm just going to put a little block of ice there.
Uh-oh.
Drink. So, as you open the door, gazing in, not checking for any traps or anything like that, what you see?
Not really Typhon's thing.
Nothing happens. Nothing bad happens whatsoever.
Except,
you know, the smell that comes in. You can tell this door's been closed for quite some time. It's a little off-putting, but not too bad. Gazing out into the room, you would immediately notice there are 2 doors on the right and left-hand side. Similar stonework, but something different about the centers there. Directly ahead, you see some desks, look like work tables. You can see a smattering of broken glass and other objects here, as well as directly ahead, standing at a desk, is a Mark I automaton. You also see one that is currently broken on some sort of metal table ahead as well.
Okay, Typhon looks at Pockets and he says, "Help me with this," and he starts taking his shield off his back and putting it on his arm.
Okay.
Typhon Pockets helps, and then dons his shield and dagger afterwards.
C.
Sorry, what was that?
What's Pockets AC?
19.
Okay.
With
Platinum
shield.
ring. Typhon hands him a platinum ring and he says, "Here, take this. And if we get into trouble, put it on."
Okay. Pockets, the ring.
Yep.
Cool.
It's a platinum ring worth 50 GP, by the way.
I think I know what it does.
This shit's happening, man. It's going to be awesome.
What I'm asking is he going to say yes?
Say yes to the dress.
do you want Shadow to go in and investigate?
We already see the automaton. I mean, Typhon's going to walk a little bit into the room right about to here. And he's going to cast Nonsense.
You cast Divine Sense. You're not picking up anything within that 60 feet of you. You are getting a little bit, I'll say, off of the construct in the way of undead, but you would have gathered that that's due to the nature of the procedure that's been done to them.
Not noticed this at all yet?
Okay.
Kind of as you've entered it stares and it seems to be blinking, and then you watch as it. Give me a perception check, actually.
Should be 16.
Okay. As you're kind of looking at it, you watch as it blinks and then it shudders for a moment. And you continue to watch it, and you notice that the shutter seems to repeat itself every few seconds. I'll say, gazing out into it, you're noticing, like you've seen Celia's brain casing before. Healthy-looking pink brain. You're not sure what healthy-looking should be, but with this one, you're seeing a little bit of darkness inside with a little bit of a green tinge.
His brain is sick and rotting.
Well, if he's not coming after us right away, I will take my time to put ice on this door as well.
Sure.
Smooth. What about these doors to the north and south of us?
Fairly easy to see as you're kind of looking over them. And again, it's more of this flat stone. The thing that stands out about this, though, is you're noticing that there's some sort of sunburst sort of indentation into the doors here in both of them. For you, Sear-Sha, using your previous perception check, actually gazing at that construct, you do notice that it seems to have something just below its neck, around the chest area, a sort of sunburst item that is protruding off.
Grab it.
Do I recognize the iconography?
Give me a history or religion check.
Can I help him on that? Well, never mind. You don't need it.
Hitting the books, son.
Basically, from what you have read and understood from the dwarves here of the past, especially those who were considered high up, the sort of professors or doctors of their craft, often had very specific studies in which they were entitled to or would entitle themselves to. This was often used not only as a symbol for their accomplishments, but many had the sort of stones, we'll say, to have this represent locks, pictures, keys, everything. Sort of like a matter of pride where they could show off their accomplishments.
These are essentially locks, and that thing around his neck is essentially the key.
Well, I probably gave a little more away than I meant. Maybe.
Well, I'm just connecting the dots here.
Yeah.
More importantly, what kind of hands does he have? Does he have sealer-like hands, or does he have like those bastards who stabbed me? Or grabbed me, I guess.
Looking at this one, as you're looking at him, the one hand that it does fall below the desk, but it looks like it's full arm. You are noticing quite a bit of corrosion in this greenish blue salt-like material that has been seen in a few of the places around here. That's kind of creeping up its arm and body, leaving sort of rust and the like. Looking at his left arm, though, you see above the elbow it's kind of missing and broken, and you can see where this material has actually begun to envelop it quite heavily.
What is this material?
It's sort of this salty, crystalline material. Looking around, actually, it would have actually been pointed out to you by Chi on your way here, the bridge that you had originally crossed and had watched that construct destroy, had actually reformed in this greenish blue, salt-like, crystal-like material, and you're actually able to cross it. But you have seen plant-like materials that seem to be made of it, and now you're seeing it growing on the floor here and on this construct.
Well, the brain's not gone good, or doesn't have a good brain on that one. Put it out of its misery.
Oh, plush, that way it can't go and attack us.
Fuck it, Typhon's just gonna walk up and talk to him.
Okay.
Be careful.
Typhon looks at the construct and he says, "Identify yourself."
As you get closer and begin to speak to him, he's like, "Hello, Professor. How are you today?" And then you see what Sear-Sha had seen before. You watch as it kind of glitches. Its head goes down for a moment and then comes back up. He looks at you again. "Hello, Professor. How are you today?" And that just repeats. The same process just keeps repeating.
"I'm doing great." And then he watches him stutter and he's just like, "Huh. Well, do we know of any way to deactivate them or kind of put them to sleep?"
Yeah, cross your heads.
From what you've seen, there's no way to deactivate them other than there is. Give me an Arcana check. I'll have to make you do one. I'll give you advantage on this because you've probably dealt with these a fair bit.
Okay. There we go.
Sure.
Suddenly I know magic too.
Just going off of memory and maybe hearing what people have talked about, you do know that dispel magic or magics, anything anti-magic, tends to knock these guys out for a little bit, but they draw power from the essence of the being that is inserted into them, whether that be from the soul. So unless you ultimately kill that thing, it stays activated.
We can do what we did with the other ones.
Walk over here and put his good arm on the thing's shoulder and gently guide it away.
Okay.
Like, he just turns it so it's facing the corner.
Sure, that's...
Like, right here.
What was that, Sear-Sha?
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure she was there with us when we put them to sleep last time.
Were like loose sheets lying around?
Yes, there's loose sheets on the desk. If you...
Yeah, I grabbed one and just draped it over them.
Sure. I thought you meant sheets of paper, but yes, a magic sudden comes and you just drape it over.
Well, that takes care of that. Counter ever. And then I start going through all these papers and notes on the desk.
Sure, give me a quick investigation check as you begin to look.
Can I try to mage hand to remove the little sun amulet he had around him? Since
Sure.
Typhon left it on him.
Important. The one remarkable thing about him.
You're looking at these papers, a lot of words.
Yep. A lot of shit that makes sense.
They all could be important in your mind.
As Pockets, bring the bag.
Oh my god.
Pockets was getting ready to do that too.
As far as your mage hand activity, as you have the mage hand kind of go out behind the construct and begin to play up like some crazy nightmare stuff, it is able to grab the necklace and you hear a slight click sound come from it. You could ascertain that your mage hand has been able to grasp whatever was on this thing's chest.
Sorry, was or wasn't able to?
Was.
Alright, let's inspect this thing.
Just give me a quick investigation as you're kind of peering over it. Kind of looking at it, it just looks like a bit of a sunburst. You are noticing bits and pieces of it move, but as you try and like play with it or anything, you're not able to get it to really do anything. There's some grooves in the bottom and a few runes, but you're not really picking up anything from it. You're not gathering anything really important from it.
Not magic, not gems. Toss it to Shadow.
Sure, I'll grab it.
All right. So, Chi, as you kind of go down to where you are, you notice a set of stairs going down.
Yep, I'm just standing guard.
Okay.
Shadow shuffles past and investigates down the stairs.
Sure. As you go down, just a regular set of stairs. No traps happen through your sheer confidence. As you get a little closer to the door here, you look out and you see similar patterns to those two doors you saw upon entering this chamber. It's again these little sunbursts, these six-pronged sun-shaped items. And looking at this door, you see grooves for these, but you see two, and they're basically side by side.
two grooves side by side.
Yeah, to this star-shaped indents or whatever. My vocabulary is terrible. But yeah, these little impressions where the same shape, same size as the key you are currently holding.
Right. The key that Pockets is holding?
Oh, right.
So he will call Pockets over.
Actually, no, it's the one you're holding. It's the one Sear-Sha just tossed to you.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to try to insert that one.
You insert it, and as you do, kind of twist it. The one thing you notice is that, give me a perception check, we'll say.
Sure.
Cool. As you begin to twist it, you notice that the one directly beside it kind of begins to turn as well. And all of a sudden there's resistance. Like it turns maybe like a few millimeters before it just stops, and you watch as dust falls from the one beside it.
So Shadow will call back to Pockets and say, "Bring your key. Let's turn them together."
Okay.
Pocket comes down and takes out his key, and does it look like it'll fit into the other hole?
Absolutely not.
Oh no!
I mean, I don't presume to be smarter than you, Shadow, but the shapes don't match.
Yeah. So Shadow will take the key out of the one hole and see if it works in the other.
You do the same thing on the other hole. Seems to do the same thing, except this time on the opposite side. You know you're not hitting resistance on your side. The resistance is coming from the opposite key.
Sure. So we're missing a key, folks.
What about the key in my hand?
Not the same shape. Yours is more like a spanner wrench. This is a pure sun shape.
There were two doors back here. We might as well try these.
Yes, let's.
Before that we head over there, Pockets just takes a look at the... You said there was a broken automaton on this table thing right here, right?
Yeah.
Does it have a key-looking thing on it?
It does not, but give me an investigation check as you're kind of looking over it.
Alright.
Hmm.
Too bad I don't have advantage.
Things are much different with holes and connections.
What? Hello?
Tubes seem to run along into the brain casing here.
Nope, you're breaking out, buddy.
Can you say that again, Jeremy?
Oh, give me 1 second. Playing. Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Sound better?
Yeah.
All right. So, as you're investigating this automaton that is on this table, the one thing you notice very clearly is that the casing itself, the brain casing, is black. The other thing you're noticing is there's a lot of broken files, and there seems to be tubes and other things that are connected into this brain casing itself.
Should we just leave this like it is here, or should we
Is it
try
like
to...
a beer cap?
Sorry, what was that?
Is it like a beer cap?
Is it like a beer cap? No.
So you've got like a brain in a jar with 2 beers going to it.
Yeah, you see some vials with some fluids that were in them, but they've long since dried. You see these weird colorations. There's a smell to it almost, where the tops are broken off.
What's it smell like?
Very medical. If Typhon's ever been in a tent where there's been rotting wounds, probably similar to that.
Oh, so it's like very strong alcohol.
Yeah. Mixed with various chemicals. If Typhon's ever hung out with someone who's done chemical work, there's some stinging smells here. Yeah, they're not pleasant.
I gotcha.
Well, no key.
This is apparently the cleaning lady's room. Okay, so we don't have all the keys. Does this desk have drawers?
The desks don't have drawers here. These seem to be work places.
Gotcha.
A lot of them with the stuff on top already.
And so there's no more books or anything interesting on any of these other desks?
There's a few papers here and there if you're wanting to take a look.
Sure. I mean, if nothing looks immediately interesting, whatever.
Yeah, sure. You can give me another investigation check if you like.
Nope.
You're reading, get a little bit better sense of the words this time. Again, a lot of big words, but some of them are talking about free will breaking, which you had seen referenced in the previous room, or maybe heard from Shadow as he was pulling books down. There's lists of chemicals and procedures to be done to those who are inadequate or faulty. You also maybe pick up on the word insanity when you are cowering through, but
that's not good. What are these things here?
Probably haven't seen those before, but you notice two footprints inside of these, and they seem to match that of an automaton.
Interesting.
Shadow speculates from what they've learned so far that the method has been causing insanity in those creatures that are being transformed.
Well, maybe not necessarily all of them.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Well, yeah, for the time being. So what did we determine was at the bottom of the stairs?
Bottom of the stairs was determined that there's a door there, but there is two of these sunburst sort of indentations there. You tried with the key on both, but got resistance on the opposite one whenever.
Okay. Typhon heads back to the door and he says we should check out some of the other rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then we can just go right across the hall, open up the other door with my hand.
Have we looked in these alcoves up here? I'm sorry if I missed that.
Oh, they
Those
probably.
alcoves do not. Well, actually, you know what? Typhon, why don't you
Yeah,
go
I was
ahead
just there.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
go ahead and
okay.
step in the footprints in those alcoves.
Okay.
I'm not sure I want to do that.
All right, you guys were checking these doors here?
No, those doors both have that sunburst key, right? Did we even
Yep.
try to open these?
We haven't opened the side ones yet, no.
Okay, let's give those a try now that we have that medallion.
Shall we check for traps first?
Yes.
Man, I hope you find something.
An investigation check, please.
Sure.
Back in the hell up.
Not trapped, as far as you can tell. It's hard to really gain any sort of insight into it. It's just this stone indentation, so.
So no obvious way to open the door?
Again, they have the sunburst, so you might assume that you have to use the key.
Okay, so I'll try the key that I have.
Sure. As you do it, kind of peering back, you watch a similar thing happen. As you attempt to turn the key, you look back and you watch as the opposite side does the exact same thing, where it kind of turns a bit and then there's resistance.
Okay.
I think we need to
find another
You
key.
know what? I don't know if they even work. What shape is your key pockets? Let me see your key.
I hand over the key.
How complicated is his key that he has? Is it a simple shape? Is it something a little fancier?
It's something definitely a little fancier. Give me an investigation check.
Nice.
So you take to analyzing the key a little harder this time. You're looking at the bottom here, and as you really peer closely, you see what look like just little scrapings and marks of a wear and time. You actually begin to see what looks to be patterns into these little grooves, and they are minuscule. This item is very complicated in its nature. You're also looking through it and analyzing it a little bit. You're picking up on a little bit of arcane energy within the key itself as well.
Mm.
Got to find this other key.
Yep. Might be in the other room.
Oh, I forgot there was a door back there.
Yeah, I think there's actually 2 more.
Yeah.
So Typhon heads over here if somebody wants to check for traps.
Yep. I would be happy to do that.
All right, give me investigation check on the door down here.
Oh no, we're going to the one to the left.
That is a wall.
I'm
the
worried
door
about
down
my party.
here. Uh-oh.
I'm worried
what?
about my party now.
Guys, the door's over here.
Oh.
But you investigate that wall, you're 100% sure? It is
wall?
indeed a wall. There's
Yes.
nothing changed about it.
It's pretty bad. It takes a blind woman to tell you there's a wall there.
Well, it just doesn't let it go. Man.
What do we see?
All right. So, serving the door here, you see those similar inlets that Typhon has for his arm. You go and you kind of look into them, Shadow. Just running a little bit of your thieves' tools in there, just checking for any little notch or anything that might cause issue or problems. You're also checking the frame of the door itself, just looking for any gaps of anything dangerous. You're not finding anything.
Okay. So is there one or more than one space for a key in the store?
As far as this door, it looks like Typhon's arm. It would require his insert.
So Shadow moves aside to make room for Typhon.
My bad. Yep. He sticks his fake hand in there and opens the door.
Sure. You twist it once again, just ever so slightly. You hear that familiar click, and as you withdraw, the door just begins to open slowly.
So wait, who all was damaged by? Yeah, fuck it. Doesn't matter. Lose.
You gave us you gave us temporary, so we're fine.
Oh, actually, yeah, it increases your max and you gain 5 for the next 8 hours.
I believe we all passed, so I think that we only took 1.
Nice.
Yeah, all but one of us passed.
Yeah, Pocket solved my puzzle right away.
I think Shadow did.
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was Pockets. Okay.
All right. So as that door opens, you see this set of stairs. Probably goes down about 60 feet or so. You do see that it seems to go. It gets dark within these stairs, and then you can see it's dark within the chamber ahead as well.
Shadow will head down the way. Sort of carefully looking around as he's going.
Sure. You can just give me a perception check. Everything seems to be on the up and up on the way down. These Stairs seem to be non-trapped though, and non-slippery. You're not seeing any of that green crystalline material encroaching in this area either. You are noticing that it is a little bit, though slightly, warmer as you begin the descent.
Okay.
As you reach bottom, you find yourself in a dark chamber, and directly ahead of you, you see what is a massive, massive door. The chamber itself is only about 80 feet wide, and about 25, 30 feet deep.
80 feet wide.
Damn.
Is this a grating beneath us?
You're seeing grating. As you kind of step over it, you're immediately blasted by this heat, like this just wave of hot air. Looking down into it, you can see that it seems to go down and into another direction. And then you can see what looks to be some sort of an orange glow as well at the bottom.
What's up with all these automatons lying around?
Looking about, you see a bunch of broken bodies of automatons. The one thing you notice about them is none of these ones have anything inserted into their chests, though.
Do any of them have two left arms?
These are all Mark 1s. They all seem to have basic appendages here.
Okay.
Garbage. Looking towards the door itself, and glancing at it, you do see a sunburst there.
Okay.
Is it just the one door?
Yes, it's just the one ginormous door.
But it's one single sunburst.
Yeah.
Oh, that whole wall is a door.
Pockets puts on his platinum ring just in case.
Yeah, I'm going to back up. I thought it was a wall.
He said yes.
He
Yeah.
went to Jared's.
She needs to get over here. Or Chai.
Who has a key? Open the door.
Chai.
We do.
I don't want a key. I give the key to Typhon.
God damn it, you guys.
Fine,
It's just a big, ominous door. Come on, you guys.
I will open the door.
It's a really big door.
Okay, Chai, you grab the key. Bravely, you take it. You place it into its
ready in
holder.
action.
If you guys want to already actions, I can use the mage hand to open it. Or use the mage hand for the key. If we're that freaked out.
Yeah, ready in action to cast Warding Bond on Pockets if shit goes down.
Sure. Ready your actions as you would like. Chi, as you walk forward, you place the sunburst into this door here. As you spin it, the key is immediately popped out, and then you guys hear this ka-chunk sound, and then you hear the slow grinding of stone. A wave of heat comes to you as the bottom of this door opens. Eventually just settles out. It's just warm, a little uncomfortable, but not too bad. The door continues to grind and raise. Looking out into the chamber, I need to delete some of this.
Oh, wow.
Boy, this is fun.
You see...
There's more advanced ones lying around.
There's a lot of stuff in here.
2 men enter, 1 man leave.
So,
go ahead, Typhon.
What you notice, as far as it goes, there are some broken up constructs here, some that are whole that are lying. And then directly in front of you, looking out, you see a Mark I construct just standing, blinking in your direction.
Okay.
Room. I don't think he's friendly.
What does he have for hands?
This looks like a basic Mark I. His hands are non-weaponized. They just are the usual clamps or what you would have seen on Celia.
And what about these other trucks? Some of them look like synths or Necrons.
That's called. Those are just Mark I's. You've just never seen them lying down before.
Shadow comments that there appears to be controls on the east and the west sides of the room.
Yes, so give me a perception check, whoever wants, about this room as you're gazing about.
Okay.
Not hard to notice.
Damn.
Some of you will pick up on a few more details than others. Looking out, you see the orange glow coming up from the floor, where there's these graded floorings, and then where there is no floor. You can get a general sense that there's heat coming from that direction as the air kind of distorts visually. You have the automaton right in front of you, seems to stand. You have multiple broken ones and whole ones lying on the ground here. You do see what are controls on the side, but what really will pull some of your attention is as you gaze upwards, you just see bits and pieces of automaton suspended by an uncountable number of chains. Lining the walls here as well, you just see these lines and rows of chain that are embedded into the walls themselves, almost like a panel. And looking into them, they seem to be in some sort of chamber that disappears both upwards and downwards into the ground.
Does this automaton have a medallion?
The automaton right in front of you does indeed have a medallion in his chest.
And there are 4 doors?
Typhon walks up to here. Oh, go ahead.
So, go ahead.
Typhon walks up to here and he says, "Identify yourself."
He says, "Greetings, Professor. Please provide authentication number."
Yes.
"Greetings, Professor. Please present your identification number."
He just reaches out and pulls the medallion off.
Oh boy.
As you reach out, his eyes change color. A very audible alarm comes up. I was going to say, as you guys were also glancing about, the one thing about the chains is there was a very large whole automaton suspended from the roof. Typhon, as you hear this loud ka-chunk, give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh boy. Okay, so this is +4. I got an 11.
Cool. Let me just grab some dice here.
I was thinking maybe we could look at those papers we took off the desk and found it there.
So you're gonna take 14 points of bludgeoning damage, as that ka-chunk sound is a very large construct landing on the ground. As you reach out, I'll say you get this medallion. But you now have this very large thing that has just crushed that construct that was in front of you. Sear-Sha, as you are standing there and as this alarm sound has gone off, that door behind you slams shut.
One I didn't put ice on, of course.
Oh, fuck. You guys are stuck on the outside. No.
Oh, no, not on the outside.
No, it's on the far door.
Far door.
Oh, okay. Woo.
So,
That
I need all of you to roll initiative. The other thing you begin to notice is 3 of these more advanced looking automatons have begun to rise as well.
But are they in fact more advanced automatons?
There's a question, sorry?
Oh, I said, are they in fact more advanced automatons?
They are definitely not.
Okay.
Does Typhon's readied action to cast a certain spell go off?
I will
Cast
say
it because it's a touch spell,
Oh.
so it does
No.
not go off. And I do not
Oh.
waste the spell slot.
Oh, poo. All right.
and this guy gets crushed. You currently have that sunburst, but that is directly in front of you. Let me just get my rolls out of the way. So this creature that has just fallen from the ceiling, this construct, the one thing you do notice about it, you fought that one guardian construct before. You saw its full plates covering its body, causing certain amounts of protection. This one looks unfinished. There are bits and pieces missing, definite soft spots, so to speak.
Do
But
they glow red when I hit them?
sure, but the thing you do notice about this construct, though, is that the parts that are there look far more advanced than the construct you had dealt with, even though it is currently unfinished. Initiative, and it's not rolling. Perfect. Slash roll.
I just hope I go before these advanced automatons.
Perfect. 4. You are noticing that they are just basic automatons. Let's hope everything else rolls. Okay, guys, the ones that rise up, they definitely look like just the basic automatons.
Oh, okay.
They just looked really cool lying down, like. I'm so unfamiliar with his sheets. Let's just go to the spring.
You're doing great. Thanks so much for running.
Oh, not a problem.
No, yeah, been pretty fun.
I run the very basic. Let's go.
Well, this ought to be fun. Yeah! I can right where I want to be.
Alright, so
I might be
who
able to
hits
get
the
a
hardest?
Sparta moment off on one of the automatons.
Alright, so let's go with this. Turn.
Hey, Sear-Sha, can you cast haste?
As I said, who hits the hardest? I don't have Quicken yet. I don't know why I'm an idiot and didn't take Quicken yet.
No, you have haste. You're about to be my best friend ever. Next time you get the ring.
Ouch.
Alright, and I need to do that.
I'm pretty sure I go dead last.
That construct didn't roll very well either. Oh yeah, you do. You definitely do.
Oh yeah, Shadow.
So as this thing lands, slamming into the floor, it raises up. You do see the gaps in the armor, but you do see it. What would be considered advanced arcane. You can see different little container-like things on its back with hoses going to its arms.
Okay.
First up is Shadow.
Yep. So we'll go 5, 10, 15, 20. I want to target this one, and I'd like to try to attack it, and my goal would be to push it into the flames.
Sure, give me a athletics check. This will be a shove, so it's technically your action.
Oh, okay. This would be a shove. So I guess I wasn't intending on that. I was intending
You can
to
shove as an attack.
Shove is actually an action, unless you have Shield Master.
Oh, I got you.
So I guess what I'd rather do then is just attack normally.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
Let me
what I'd
verify that.
Yeah, using the attack action, you can make a special melee attack to shove creatures.
Oh, you can shove as an attack action if you so choose.
And it's athletics, right?
Yes, it would be countering athletics, so it would use one of your attacks if you have to.
Sorry.
You're a rogue.
Well, I have one attack, but I have an action, and then I have a bonus action.
Right.
Would the attack count as the action, and then I still
Well,
have
your attack is your action. If you choose to do an action, your attack is an attack action. So that would use up your action.
Do I need to roll initiative?
I understand.
Yes, you do need to roll initiative.
You know what? I am going to try it. I'm going to try that.
Sure.
So just athletics check, right?
Yep. Where's it?
Oh,
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh.
Taco Bell was making a second coming.
I would like to use inspiration.
Well, if you really want, you already shoved it in there.
Oh, okay, that's great. If I shoved it in there, great.
Yeah, you come in. This thing.
Oh, I'm
is
sorry.
just-
I was looking at the wrong roll.
You're
Sorry.
looking at Chais. Yeah, no problem. As you come up to this thing, you just run and you just give it a quick little, this is Sparta boot, and you watch as it just tumbles down into the pit of
Sweet.
flame as it's getting
Yep.
up.
And then I'm going to
You knock
move.
stuff over.
I'm going to move here and use my bonus action to attack this one with my dagger.
Nice.
And is that a hit?
Sure, you have 2 attacks, right?
So I have one attack. I'm a rogue. So but I have a bonus action. Right? I can make an offhand attack.
Yep. Okay, that's your offhand.
And because I've got swashbuckler,
Roll me some sneak attack.
I
please.
can do my sneak attack action. A sweet 20 sneak attack damage.
All right, you come in and you slam your blade into that brain casing, aiming for a particular part that you would deem to be a little more fragile. You watch as you cause this cracking and this fluid begins to leak out. The automaton still seems with it. You do see its eyes kind of blink oddly for a moment, but now its attention's definitely directed towards you.
And then I'm going to withdraw 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Oh, feline agility, great.
Yes, that.
Damn, you did. Wow.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
All right, so you successfully sparted one automaton and stabbed another. Chuck.
All right, bonus action. Spiritual weapon next to the one in front of me.
All right, you can draw yourself a little sword if you like.
Well, I'll be able to move it around. So. Does it attack when it comes out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be able to make an attack. So 23. What are you doing it on? The guy down here?
The big one.
Okay, 23 does hit. As what kind of weapon are you using?
Battle axe.
Battle axe, this large spiritual axe of this sort of darker energy representing yourself comes out, and it slashes at this automaton. It tries to bring up its arm to block, but it just seems to cleave through part of the armor, damaging a little bit of it.
All right, I'll go ahead and move up and take my 2 attacks on it.
Sure. Roll me some attack rolls, please. You come swing with your hammer. The first one just catches into the leg and doesn't seem to do anything. You come and swing again with your hammer, trying to strike the arm and maybe break off one of these hoses that is connected to it. And it's just like hitting a solid steel. It seemed like you're maybe aiming for the wrong bits of it.
There's my battle axe.
Very nice.
Sure. Pockets. This automaton is coming towards you. It is going to make 2 slam attacks to you as it charges up to you. 10 versus AC and 6 versus AC.
Nope.
Was I even?
I have a AC 19. On one of those, I will. No, I won't. I don't do it.
Okay. All right, Typhon.
So as a free action, I'm going to drop the amulet by tossing it behind me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bonus action. Feel Faith.
Okay.
And then on first attack, I'm going to smite.
Slam 22 definitely hits. As you slash at it, your sword erupting in divine energy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It cleaves
Sorry, I
deep
couldn't hear all
into
the hand
the
jokes, people.
front metal portion here, sort of shearing away some of the plate that seems to be protecting it.
And then second attack. Yeah, I'm going to fucking do a second level smite again.
Oh, hell yeah.
Last second level
Fine,
spell
you don't need
slot, but fucking worth it.
Whoa!
So
So 20. It's 10 times 2. 40. Oh, that rolling that low damage on that second one was pretty poor. So yeah, you come in and you slash at it again, rending more plates from its form. It definitely looks like you've done some damage to it, but it looks like it's rearing back and beginning to point one of its arms in your direction.
turn.
All right, pockets.
All right. Feeling inspired by Shadow's display of using his surroundings, Pockets decides sees if he, wait, yeah, Pockets is basically to try and push this automaton all the way into that hole.
All right.
Oh, Pockets.
Oh,
So,
God.
so he, I guess he'll first make his attack, and as an attack, he'll shove.
Okay, give me the shove athletics. Heck yeah. Oh, where is this guy? So you shove him back the 10 feet, I believe.
Oh, if it's 10
Or
feet,
5
that's
feet.
amazing.
It's 5 feet, I believe. So you shove him back 5 feet.
All right, I move up. I use handy dandy since I've taken the attack action. Where is that stupid feat? And use the bonus action to try and shove him again.
Okay.
Nice.
Sure, let's do
good.
counter athletics checks. Chunk, you push him another 5 feet. Chunk.
I move up, and then I'm going to action surge and shove him once more.
This is great.
Oh yeah, dude. Fucking nailed it.
Look, guys, I
need
could
to
do
roll
it too.
a natural 20. No.
Oh.
Good tongue.
Man, he put up one hell of a fight, though.
You did.
See that, Shadow? I could do it too.
So you guys, Sear-Sha and Shadow, you probably watch Pockets just runs up and bull rushes with his shield, and like a defensive lineman, because there's football in this world now, just begins to just pump with his legs, just pushing and pushing, and this automaton tries to brace and get footing, but you can hear these awful metal scrapes of this steel on steel until eventually Pockets, just with one final guffaw, just launches this thing down into the steel inferno beneath. Because hell yeah.
And then with my remaining movement, I'll take up a defensive position to protect Sear-Sha from the final automaton.
Oh, sure. As you do that, its attention is immediately going to turn to you, and it'll make 2 attacks against you. Man, I need to roll some.
Whoa!
Oh my! Did it lose an arm?
Pockets.
Previous wounds cause it to bleed out even further. It's just going to take, and oh Lord, it takes some extra damage. You watch as it just strike you twice, Pockets, and it just collides awkwardly into you, and you watch as more of that fluid has begun to leak out.
And I'm going to try and riposte him because he missed.
Sure. You go to strike it, but as it's backing away, it just kind of slits itself, and as you're trying to stab it, that slipping motion just causes you to just barely miss it. This guy's turn. All of a sudden, you notice that he is much bigger because he's supposed to be bigger than what he is.
Oh,
He
shit.
stands to his full height.
Oh my god!
Oh
Sorry.
my gosh! Holy crap!
Go Paladins!
No, he's not looking. He's looking like he's seen some shit. Let's see if this stuff is gonna work. So let's roll the dice.
What are we going to ability called roll the dice?
I have something missing on it. 1 second.
Fuck yes, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, roll 20.
Looks like a really bad transformer.
Let's try this again. Roll the dice. It's not 3 damage. So,
You just rolled 1d4.
yes, this is, you watch as this thing brings down its arm, and you watch as one of these hoses, it gets this sort of green coloration to it and begins filling into its arm. It takes aim at those in front of it. What do I have written here? I'm going to say everyone within a bit of a cone. So, Pockets, Typhon, and Chi. I need Constitution saving throws from the 3 of you as this gout of green gas, curse you, begins pouring out from its arm.
And sadly, I'm not within 10 feet.
I want to look at.
What level are you?
Say, I've never said this to another man, but you're going to make a sexy ass corpse.
What level are you?
Who?
Chi, what level are you?
5.
Okay. Paladin bonus. You get
there you
you get an extra +3 to your saving throw.
So
I'm
21.
on. You said it was Constitution, right? 17.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get +4 to this.
Why am I rolling so poorly? All
'Cause
right.
we are on
So
fire.
you all make your save. You guys kind of take a small whiff of this gas as it begins to pour out of this creature, or this construct. You all take 12 points of poison damage. Seemingly the construct beside you takes none.
Okay.
Sear-Sha, top of the round, you notice that the flames in these corners just all of a sudden just boom, and you feel this wave of heat. I need a Constitution saving throw from everyone once again.
I got a 21.
Do I still get the 3?
Yes.
Yeah, you still get the 3. It's on literally all the time.
Oh, okay, so it's 15.
Constitution. Oops.
So everyone below a 13 is going to take 4 points of fire damage as the heat in this room just becomes sweltering. Anyone who's saved takes half.
And I have
4 points.
resistance, so I take 1.
All right, Sear-Sha.
How many points of fire damage, real quick?
2 if you
4.
saved.
4 if I saved. Or if I didn't save. Okay.
Yeah.
2 if you saved.
I did. I rolled a 5.
Take a
Okay.
step and give Typhon his haste.
Heck yeah.
+2.
What's his AC at now?
Hopefully unhittable.
It has to be 25.
Anything else with your turn?
Is not for now.
Okay. So, top of the round, that heat begins to swelter. You watch as this automaton kind of cries out this alarming sound similar to the one that is currently been crushed by its form. And you watch as 4 more of these automatons rise up from them.
Okay, so this answers the question of what should be the priority, right?
Yep.
Gosh, darn it.
And,
Turn those valves.
all right. So, Shadow, you are up.
Shoot. Shadow is going to fire his crossbow. No, he's not going to do that. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I think I could do Ring of the Ram against the main automaton.
Sure.
Hold that action. Hold that action.
Hold that action. Why?
Hey, no metagaming. You
sorry.
Who did you cast haste on?
Typhon.
Oh, thank you so much. I have 27 AC. Life is good.
Jeez.
I'm going to use 1 charge against this.
Okay. Roll me an attack roll, please. As you slam out your ring, you watch as this spectral ram charges out into it. It brings up its arms in defense, and it seems to be unaffected by the magics of the ring. It skids back a few inches, and you hear the terrible sound of grinding metal, but it seems to be unaffected.
Crap. Okay. I'm going to move up just a little bit closer to Sear-Sha. That's it.
All right. Let me just quickly that. And Chi.
All right. Let the craziness begin. Magic rope. I'm going to throw it at the legs and say tie, so it wraps around both of his legs and ties real tight.
Okay. Roll me a d20 for your rope. Oh boy. I am just going to roll this. As your rope begins to tie around, calling back to the hearkened adventures of those of the Star Wars tomes that you had once read, you find as it begins to wrap this this construct, it just braces itself, and due to the strength of that, you just watch as it's trying to wind in tight. It is unable to do so, and just falls limply down to the ground, almost like it's really a sad rope.
Wow, that rope needs some spell of Viagra. All right.
Anything for a bonus action movement?
Yeah, my spiritual weapon will attack.
Or roll an
And
attack
miss.
roll. Roll a d20 just to see if anything happens, because that's what John does. I don't think it's going to hit anyone. It's not near anyone. Concentration, or maintain concentration of it, but it's still there, and it hasn't been able to gain any contact with this large construct. This automaton's dead, so it's going to go to Typhon.
Oh, hell yeah. Does it have any like vulnerable joints on its legs?
The joints seem to be the only thing that's majorly armored here. A lot of the plate that's missing is located in areas of like forearm, shin, quad, things that where you can see gearing and hoses, but the things that needed to be protected in order for this thing to work are well armored.
Okay, fine. I'm just gonna lay into it. That miss?
14 definitely misses.
Second attack, 22.
22. As you bring your blade up to strike this creature, it is going to, all of a sudden you see this spectral shield flare up in front of it. But as a result of 22, you still carve through this spectral shield. That remains.
Oh, hell yeah. Gosh, such an awesome mental image. And then you take an extra 8 damage from the smite.
Awesome.
And you have your hasted attacks as well, right?
Yep. So, let's see. With that haste action.
Please give me that haste action.
Fuck it. I'm just going to attack him again.
You go to strike again. This time the barrier is a little much for you. Kind of bring the blade back in a sweeping motion in front. Not fully accustomed to the speed that you are currently being given.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me another one.
Oh, no, that's it.
Oh, I thought haste you got 2. Okay.
It's just 1. Well, extra action, but if you use it to attack, you can only make 1 attack.
That's right.
And then bonus action, drink a potion. So I'm looking a little beat up.
Sure. Pockets. And you quickly glug down that potion, still staring this thing in the face.
Pockets is going to take a swing at this one.
Sure. Roll me an attack roll, please.
And he is going to hold on to shield in case he kills it.
Yeah, like you come in with your stiletto keen and you just jam it into that open brain casing, and your blade goes directly into the brain of this automaton. You just watch as it just falls down and flat.
Nice. So then, Pockets, I believe I can do this, is going to run here, and as a bonus action, shield master this guy into the pit.
Oh my god, yes! So fucking good.
Where's my automaton sheet? In 1 second. Roll me an athletics, please.
15.
Let me just get his, and...
Goodbye.
Yes!
Life is great. You watch as this guy just falls down into the fiery abyss.
I think by dumping those constructs in there, it's causing those blasts of heat.
Could be.
About to find out.
Yeah, we are. Yep. I
And
mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad strategy. I don't give a shit about fire damage.
And I am my turn.
All right. This construct is going to move up beside you, Typhon, as you are currently the closest individual. It's going to make 2 attacks against you.
Man, that roll.
Wow, I'm doing so well today. This is great.
Typhon literally does not even notice.
I'm going to say this one, seeing these lone stragglers, actually going to run up and dash towards Sear-Sha.
Ooh, shit.
Ooh.
Come, fuck around, except when I'm rolling.
I can get to you before it moves next. If that was a dash.
Yeah, that was a dash, so it has no actions this turn. All right. Big Mama Jamma's turn. You watch as it discharges this kind of steam from the green hoses and canister. Oh, why hasn't this stopped rolling? Shaped sheet, something I am definitely not accustomed to. 1 second. And that is not enough to recharge its attack. So,
Yes.
it is instead going to make 2 slam attacks. Typhon.
Oh, holy shit. Oh my god.
That was a
very close call.
It's going to make its second attack against you as you
Did that hit,
have
Chad?
been.
No, it
No,
didn't.
it's a 19 to hit, and you only rolled an 18.
That's a 19 to hit. I see a 26.
Oh, no, I'm a
The dice has to
27.
be 19.
The dice has to be 19.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah. So it's 18 plus 8.
Go for Chai. Go for Chai.
Chai.
Yeah, seeing that was ineffective, Chai. Don't worry about it. I didn't hit
No,
shit.
that miss. Thanks for the breeze. We were getting a little warm.
I had an automaton.
I'm gonna hit the 2, the automaton, and the big guy, and I'm also gonna give the big guy disadvantage.
Sure. That's a dexterity save. It's really good at these.
Oh.
How does that work in terms of its area of effect?
So I'm actually stopping it so it doesn't hit any of you, because I can choose where it goes.
Nice.
So it'd be like this.
All right, so it's going to take 19
nice.
points bludgeoning damage.
It's prone. Everybody go for it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not back 10 feet as well, right?
No, it doesn't get knocked back, but it does fall prone.
Oh, it just falls. It's a really sad construct.
Extinguishing unprotected flames in 30-foot area.
And what about this little construct?
Oh, you hitting that one as well?
Yeah, it hits that little construct, and the water should fall into the pit to the left there.
Sure. 1 second. Look at his deck save.
Great. She just created a song.
Yeah, he just takes full damage. He's also knocked prone. Very sad. He's going to take a full 19.
Shadow, don't worry about this one. Just go get the big guy.
Oh, God.
Everybody goes before him.
19. I don't know what happened. I might have made a mistake, but you guys are doing fine, so. Sure, why not? All right, so Sear-Sha just went. She calls out to you to all make your attack. This automaton, seeing his buddy just got manhandled by Pockets, is going to run up and attack him. Oh my goodness. I would be all right rolling over a 10, more than once. Please, please.
In other words, the automaton ran up to Pockets and started bowing down, going,
Does a 17 hit?
Oh, yes, it does. Actually, no, it doesn't. These guys have an 8. Never mind. You go and stab at it, and you come in contact, aiming for that brain casing, and it just slam into the plate metal that covers its body.
Darn. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have enough movement to get directly to the big guy, so I'm going to go help you, Sear-Sha. I'm going to move here and attack.
Nice.
Nice. So you come in and you stab it with your short sword, roll a sneak attack. Is that doubled sneak attack? No. So 28?
It's a 20, so I think everything is doubled, right?
Yeah, everything doubles. 28 plus the 15, because it automatically rolls that crit. 15. Oh man, you dumpster this dude, slamming it into its brain case. You stab that short sword. You cut tubes and things holding that brain in place. And for some reason, by some grace of the maker that constructed him, it is still standing.
So then I'm just going to use the set my offhand attack.
Sure.
You've cut 2 of his brainstems. So it's a politician.
You go and try and cut into it, but it just kind of staggers back, and you just contact steel.
Does it literally stagger back?
Sure, like this much.
Could I interpose myself, like, in between?
Why not?
Super.
Why not? I like it. Shy.
All right, bonus action. On my hammer.
Okay.
And neither of them are going to.
You're rolling about as well as I am. That's great. You go and slam your hammer into this thing while it's on the ground. It seems to be able to get its arm up in place, and you contact a bit of the armored plate that is still on this construct.
I'm just not rolling for crap.
Your hammer vibrating with some divine energies. Typhon.
Oh, yeah.
Just roll me your 3 attacks.
Actually. Okay, yeah, let's just do 3 attacks. First attack.
Hits. Roll again.
Second attack.
Hits. Roll again.
Third attack.
Nice.
All right. Any extra damage that you're into those?
I mean, 2 spell slots left. I'm gonna hang on to those.
Okay. You slam down into its form, cutting into its. Is Lumiere a longsword?
Mm-hmm.
All right. With your longsword, Lumiere slashing at its metal plates, it seems to be getting its arms up in order to try and block the incoming damage. You crash into it, hitting it. These 3 slices seem to. Fluids begin to leak out, and as you away the chest, you open it. You can see through the openings here that there are 3 sort of these soul chambers, these round iron casings with these purple gems on the inside. The creature is still moving, or the contract is still moving and trying to attempt to get up at this point.
Finish it, Pocket.
Yeah, man, it's all you.
Yeah, apparently because I couldn't hit the broadside of the barn standing inside of it.
All right. Like this. Pockets is going to move up, and he will go to stabby stab this thing with Selena.
Roll me those attack rolls if you so are.
And does a 23 hit?
Oh, heck yeah. You come in with your stiletto, you slam it into one of these soul stones. You watch as a part of it begins to power down. There's still these 2 other stones that still have a little bit of illumination, but even they're beginning to flicker.
And then as a bonus action, I am going to second wind.
Typhon says we should try to take one of those soul stones intact. Except he's shouting it
Do you only
because
have
right now
one
it's chaos.
attack?
Yeah, I only have one attack. One more fighter level away.
Pockets there? Am I still in here? Hello?
What's up?
Nope.
Did you Iron Man pockets?
Hello?
You're back now.
Yep.
What is going on?
No, I didn't. I
Oh, no.
I rolled the 46, keep 3, and still got crappy stats.
That sucks.
Yeah, dude, I got 2 stats worse.
I think he dropped again.
Stat points worse than standard array.
Damn.
Oh. Oh?
Hello, hello.
Still there? You're there? Can you hear us?
Quick, kill it while he's gone.
We win.
Just start rolling random attack rolls.
Great.
Doing damage.
Keep rolling.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna be right back. My dog's spawned out again.
Cool.
I guess that makes me War Machine.
All right. My goodness. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me just put this to voice activity. So, I'm on a shitty mic now. I hope it sounds all right.
It's fine.
Cool. You
If you had
slammed
cool players
into
like
it. Yeah. I slammed into it with your stiletto. It's not quite finished off. Not sure if you heard what I'd said before, but these sort of soul chambers, these metal sort of sphere ring items that have this sort of purple amethyst in the center, held in by some sort of spoke-like items. One of them flickers out, and you can see the other two have begun to flicker out. This thing looks like it's almost chatted, I guess.
2 hit points.
Yeah, essentially. So, I believe that makes it my turn then. This automaton is going, for some reason, to attempt to still attack Typhon, because why not? 23 versus AC.
Nope.
Shadow! This guy's still standing, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Let's move him back there. 2 attacks versus you.
The
19 versus
hits.
80.
So I'm going to do that. And then I use my resistance, so I'll take 2.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good. You use your resistance to absorb some of the damage, as well as your uncanny dodge to minimize the damage you're taking, almost with the graceful agility of the cat. Of your background, while Typhon is swung out 2 times, and you're just literally watching these blows hit him and then bounce off the adamantine armor. My dude is going to go one last time.
Back, sorry.
Hands up.
And no recharge. I'm going to hit Chai.
Ooh, that will hit.
Oh, that rolls so terribly. And it's going to try one more time against Typhon.
Man.
One away.
All right. Sear-Sha.
Okay, sorry, I was gone. Are there any stones left on him?
The stones you see one is kind of cracked. They would have been shown to you by the previous survey team as these kind of soul chambers. When the one went out, you would have heard a young girl's scream as this little wisp of energy exited it. There's currently 2 more, and they seem to be flickering and binding due to stress.
Okay. Sorry, I was just checking a spell here. I will cast my Earth Grasp.
Okay.
If I will stop lagging, I will.
All right. It is going to make a strength saving throw.
Failed.
All right.
It is not this golem's day.
Even though there is no soil in this ground, we'll say that you concentrate hard enough and these metal plates seem to come off from the floor itself, revealing the dirt and construction materials underneath, and they begin to slam into its form with this magical energy. And you watch as one comes from its left-hand side and just slams it in the chest, and the other one hits the bottom of its hip, and this torsion just causes the 2 remaining soul chambers to just twist just enough, and you hear the cries of a woman and a man, like one in pain, come out as the 2 amethyst-type crystals just shatter, and then the energy dissipates out. That's it for the construct. This one's going to attack pockets, because I guess we'll keep going, because why not? Maybe I'll actually hit something. Nope. And nope.
I'll riposte once. Does a 15 hit?
I'm going to say, for the sake of brevity and the fact that their big dude just got botched, that there's this weird sort of energy that fluctuates through the room, and you just get advantage.
Yay!
Yay!
Right,
why not? You deal 13 points of piercing damage as you stab into around his brain casing, causing a little bit of it to crack and shatter and begin to leak.
Cool.
Chai. Shadow.
He's going to go at the one directly in front.
Sure, the one that's is on its last leg. Yeah, oh man, you don't even hold back. Sure, why not? You take the 1 HP automaton and show it to his boss and just stab into the brain so hard with your short sword it literally just explodes a little bit. But none of that mess gets on you because you're that good.
Not the face, not the face.
And then I'll come up here and we'll use our offhand on.
I'm gonna seal your kill, bro.
All right. You come in and you shank it from the side. You hit a bit of a joint, an area that's kind of holding this thing up, and it staggers just ever so slightly. Not enough to move out of its space, but enough where it seems like it's looking like it's regretting its life choices, if automatons could look that way.
Right. So then we're just going to move back a few spaces here.
Sure.
No, my spiritual well. I used my bonus action last time for my spiritual well.
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
Chi and Typhon. Typhon, you have one construct off to your right. Chi, you have one to your right and to your left. Yeah, it's your turn. I'm just getting both of you to go, just for the sake of brevity.
All right. Bonus action on one of my spell slots this time. Thunderous Smite.
All right.
So my hammer and I have it. All right, hold on. The first one of those.
I'm giving advantage. So yeah, you slam it, you hit it, it basically explodes.
So the second one I'm adding 10 to.
Sure, just so you can hit it harder. Roll me your smite damage. Well.
And just for shits and giggles.
Or did you do that as a second level spell?
No, I had two divine, two.
I don't think you can't channel two thunderous smites. You can,
the hammer has one.
No, it's concentration, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So you'd only be able to maintain one. So we'll say the first one didn't happen. But with your divine smite, roll me the damage, the extra divine smite damage. Yeah, that's enough. As you come in, you just run in beside pockets there and cleave the one that Shadow had just struck, cutting it essentially in half, going right through the brain casing, that divine energy from your convictions.
Damn it, I got tired of missing.
Typhon.
Putting you out of my misery. First attack. Third attack.
You don't get a third attack. Haste ended.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, Earthing Grasp is concentration.
Oh, okay. Well.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So you get the first two, so you still get the crit.
Nice.
Sure, yeah, you cut it. I'm going to say it staggers back. It's still up, but it looks pretty poor in its situation.
What you got? Let's do this.
It kind of staggers back, a little bit of liquids spilling out with him. He looks like he's on his last strings, essentially, at this point.
Did I chat him? Is he at 1 hit point?
No, he's doing 7 better than the Chad. So, Pocket.
Okay. Wait, so this guy's still alive?
No, that guy's dead. Sorry. There's one guy on the opposite side of the automaton. You can see just over Typhon slamming it with his sword.
All right. Pockets will run over across the corpse of the dead super automaton.
Sure. Give me an acrobatics check just to see how cool you look.
Oh gosh, don't roll a 1. Hey.
Heck yeah. You do it super cool too. Like you do that hood of the car slide over top of its front end.
Nice. And I go and drive in Selena.
Just barely missing the antenna going in your ass.
Yeah, I'll say we'll give you advantage. They're having the trouble. You slam that blade into the back. You'd see you can hear the shatter of the glass from the other side as it begins to protrude from the brain casing. You withdraw it, the thing falls to its knees, its eyes go out and blank, and it falls dead.
Whoa.
Oh, that was fun.
I pick up the amulet.
Sure.
I was thinking, now why the fuck did we come in here again? Oh, right.
Go to those gears and turn them to see if the heat turns off before we take more heat damage.
Okay.
I'm going to use 25 points of lay on hands.
Yep,
Sure.
I cast lay on hand.
And I'm taking the head of this large automaton.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
Give
I'm
me.
totally gonna scrounge some shit off all these constructs, but ourselves and turn off the heat.
Sure.
40.
What do you want, a strength check?
Yeah. You have proficiency in smithing. I much prefer. Yeah. Give me a athletics with advantage. Sure. I'll say you cleanly take the arm off, so to speak. You take a bit of the chest with it. There's obviously a socket attachment. This might require more of a tinker, but you have a large prototype construct's arm.
No, I'm taking the head. I don't know what Typhon's taking.
Oh, you're taking the head. Yeah, you take the head, sure. It looks really cool.
He takes the head? Yeah, then I'll take the arm.
Yeah, I'm gonna mount it on my wall.
Sure. Are you doing it yourself?
No, I'm gonna ask him to help me. I've really only got one serviceable hand, and he obviously has the know-how to do this well.
Yeah,
sure. Who's turning off the heat, by the way?
Okay, cool. Sweet. So I got
try to use it.
Gundam arm.
I can use my mage hand. I'm going to try. Otherwise, I'm going to wait for one of them to do it.
Sure. Your mage hand goes over there. It's able to apply 10 pounds. It takes a little bit, but as it begins to turn the one valve, you can see that the light coming from those pits begins to dim a little bit. You feel a little wisp of heat come out from the chambers, but nothing that would bother you.
Did Typhon get the other one, or should I go with the other one too?
Pocket seeing her do that would have rushed over to
I'd get the other one.
Yeah, and as you turn that one, it seems to dim a little bit more, just but there's still this orange glow. It's gotten quite a bit cooler, probably to the point where it's actually comfortable for you guys. The heat is escaping from somewhere. You're not sure, but it's definitely bearable. You're not sweating anymore, and there's no more blasts of that heat.
Cool.
So yeah, you tear that arm. Sorry, I'll just say you get that arm. You tear it away. They get a bit of the chest. It's got a socket in it. You have a large construct's arm.
Sear-Sha, may I put this in your bag?
Does it weigh?
It's also an incomplete arm, as it has plates and stuff that aren't attached to it. We'll say it's probably 400 pounds.
I can fit in the bag then.
Oh, the arm does?
This thing is a huge creature made of steel.
I don't want to take the whole arm if it weighs that much. It ain't worth that much. I wanted it more for like more advanced parts and materials, but fuck it. Out of it, I guess that's okay.
Well, I have 5 sheets of steel back at the camp that I haven't done anything with. So.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Maybe you could derive a design from this one.
What?
Pocket is technically proficient with Tinker's tools. Is there anything I could do with Tinker's tools to help salvage anything from this?
You get the gist that due to their athletics, they were careful enough not to tear away the bits, but you're kind of looking and been like, oh, I could have probably just unscrewed some of the socket joints to it and made this a whole lot easier, but they had it under control, I guess.
I just want to say for point of order that there was a much simpler way to do that, but congratulations for not damaging any parts.
And are those gems that are
why
in
do
its...
people always tell us this information after we do something?
Take the whole, don't just take the gems, take the whole thing. Like the whole construct out of it.
Pockets is looking at the gems to see, do they look shiny at all still? Or at all valuable?
You're looking at them. Give me just an investigation check, because you're kind of going through them.
Alright.
Oh, I'm dropping my spiritual sword too.
Like you would assume that they probably have value, but you're not seeing the same shine. Like they were glowing when you saw that chest opened up, and that glow is gone. These aren't finely cut stones; they're very rough, and all three of them have cracks and cuts into them now. So it would probably take a jeweler to finally cut them. Yeah, and to give them any sort of value, like as they are right now, they aren't worth much.
I'm literally coughing over his shoulder.
Pockets notices this and says, "All right then. 1 moment, guys." And I take my tools and try to gently pry them out and collect the gems.
Sure, give me a thinker's check with the way these are kind of bound in there.
I don't have anything set up for the roll. Would that be adding my dexterity?
Yeah, do a dexterity roll with your proficiency added. So if you have proficiency in something in dexterity, just roll that for me.
20 plus 7. Wow, that was a terrible roll. I got a 10.
You're having a little bit of trouble. These spokes are bound into them pretty hard. I'll say you get 2 of them. One of them you do, and it just due to the damage from Typhon just reefing on this thing with his divine smites, one just goes to powder, essentially. You'd have some amethyst dust if you so chose to keep it, but you've got 2 partially shattered amethysts. They maintain their shape, but you can definitely see the cracks that spider out through their middles.
Pockets, trying to make the best of a situation, walks over to Sear-Sha with a smile on his face, go, "Here you all, miss," and gives her a little wink. Like she knows what to do with this.
Yeah, for you, Sear-Sha, you're looking at this like there is literally hours of work for you to do here. Not just because these were already shattered, not because of how we took them out. You knew they were shattered, but you're looking at them and there's cuts. You're going to have to take every individual stone away from this and carve it, and then it's like each amethyst probably has 20 stones you'll be able to cut from them.
Oh, wow.
But very low value. Like these are going to be tiny.
Good enough.
But so you can mark 25 225 gold pieces worth of amethyst in for those 2.
Did we get the rest of like the soul cages out?
You can wrestle the soul cages out if you like. Anything of value with them has been taken, and the other previous party had brought some soul cages that actually had charged crystals in them, as well as damage.
Okay, well, yeah, we already have ones that work. Fuck it. We're not going to need this.
Yeah.
But all the constructs are garbage, right?
Yeah, you're seeing bits and pieces that could be salvaged for parts, but everything's essentially busted up pretty bad here.
Okay, that's fine.
So should we take that secondary key thing and go check out the basement?
Yes, we should. We should do.
All right.
Does anybody need to take a rest?
I mean,
Nope.
I wouldn't be opposed to
Go.
it, but we could keep
I'm a little
going.
short on spell slots, but I got plenty of hit points, so I think we can keep going.
What does Pocket say?
Pocket is one to go with the group. I only have one. Like, resource-wise, I have 1 superiority dice left and nothing else. But I can keep going. I'm mostly full health.
Sure. I'll pull you guys back into this room here.
We still never found the key for those other doors.
This one.
I think we did. I think Typhon grabbed it.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah, Typhon grabbed it right before the thing dropped down.
Do y'all want to investigate those other doors?
I think that's where we might be heading.
It was to the east, yes?
Yeah,
And I'll say that as you guys were exiting,
Down the
you
stairs.
found the door at the top of the stairs that had previously closed. You just noticed that there was a sunburst key. You would have used it and opened it. As you come back into this room, you have the 2 sunbursts for the stairs, and then the doors on the left and right upon immediately entering this kind of workshop area.
Do you want to open these level first?
Yeah, let's open these and then we'll go down.
Yeah, let's do these 2 first.
Sure. As the 2 open it from either side, you're just turning the keys.
Yep.
Cool. They're not trapped. It's great. As they slide open, on either side, you notice that there is labels at the top of what are kind of like a sort of ornate designed wood sort of dresser or cabinet. Just with a little note at the top that says confiscated materials.
Yes, please.
Upon
goes and tries the door.
it just swings open. It's a cabinet. It opens really nicely, not even a creak. Well oiled, well maintained, of the highest dwarven quality, of course. Opening that one, you find.
Typhon, does it got your hand in there?
Well, it's not. There's no hand. You see what looks to be like a set of bagpipes, as well as a cloak, and you see a container containing a familiar material to you. It looks like residuum, about you'd say about 500 gold pieces in this one.
Can I take that cloak and inspect it?
So is that 500 apiece, or is that 500 divided up equally between everybody?
Well, that's just the first dressers. How much is there? There's 500 total there, so you'd have to divide it.
Okay. And how many different confiscated materials dressers are there?
That was about it. You found these pipes hanging there, and that cloak of elven kind in the first dresser, and then the residuum. You're seeing a lot of other items as well. There is there's several pairs of boots, shoes, clothes, and the like.
The uniform, none of it appears like unusual.
Give me an investigation or arcana check, whatever you're more proficient in as you're looking.
Shadow, that cloak would probably be good for you.
Yeah, neither, but here we go.
Heck yeah, I'll say that's good enough. The thing, and it's easy looking at everything, the thing that stands out is where these clothes, these boots, these shoes within this sort of dresser have aged. You notice that the cloak and these pipes, this musical instrument, have not. Time has seemingly not affected them.
I think Lilivos would probably want that instrument, and I'd be willing to take a look at that you know.
Oh yeah, naturally. Those
Pockets, you're checking the other one?
Yep.
All right. So as you're checking the other one, it's the same story. Give me an investigation check as well, or an arcana, whichever you're more proficient in.
You said investigation or arcana?
Yeah.
Does someone else want to take a look at this over here? I don't know what I'm doing.
I'll check.
-1's the best.
Oh,
Damn.
well done, well done.
Yeah, that knows all the secrets.
Very obvious for you, Sear-Sha, as you begin to look. You do find a pair of boots within here that stand out again. It's things that have not been affected over time. You also find this great sword, this large blade that just stands in there. You see what looks to be these sort of ornate blood droplets, almost seared into the steel itself, running down the blade. It looks pretty nice. You also find another 500 of the residuum.
Can I take that sword and investigate it?
Yeah,
Sure.
we're definitely going to get all these items identified.
You know you'd have to probably spend some time with the sword together. It's very obviously magical, but you're not going to be able to just look at it and determine what it does.
So we've got a pair of boots, a cloak, a great sword, and 1,000 GP of residuum.
Yeah.
Nice.
That sounds about right?
To check out.
Yeah,
And
what does
there's
Boots do?
Nothing else in all the other dressers in there. All that stuff was just normal looking.
Yeah, you're just seeing normal looking materials. A lot of it, you can tell, is aged and old. Probably you could easily determine that it's from before the fall of these labs.
It stands by the stairs while this guy over in the corner is still like saying, "Hello, Professor. Hello, Professor."
Yeah, while he has a sheet that magically appeared over top of his head.
That's right on the back, not a ghost. But yeah, let's go downstairs, open up this other door.
So we don't know what the Boots do either?
We haven't identified them yet.
You're going to have to either spend a short rest with them or have them identified back at camp.
You guys say we have a short rest because we don't know what's downstairs yet.
Well, let's check the door for traps.
Yeah, I'm happy to try that. So we're going down the stairs?
Yes, sir.
Yep. I would be happy to check that door.
Sure. Give me a investigation check if you check it for traps once again.
Damn,
Not
son.
trapped. Again, you expertly getting more accustomed to this. Just run your blade and your thief tools into the parts that have gapping. You're not finding any trigger mechanisms or anything like that. You just know that this thing is indeed locked.
So since it's not trapped, let's take a short rest before we go in.
Okay. Rest, see what these things do.
Yeah, during that short rest, I'll look at the great sword.
I'm going to check out those boots.
Yeah, you got the boots.
And I have the cloak.
All right. I'm going to just give these permissions to you. Hopefully... they are acceptable. Here you go, Typhon. Those boots.
Those boots will not replace your own.
Hopefully those are legal.
Boots of left arm restoration.
Yeah. Like, well, that was convenient.
Who's doing the cloak again?
Shadow.
And what about the musical instruments?
That's going to our bard friend Lola's.
All right.
Sear-Sha investigating that one.
Yeah. I'm just going to throw them into the folder so you can just check the journal and you'll be able to see them. Sear-Sha. Let's do yours quick. So, you found winged boots.
Yes!
Sweet.
Oh my.
Because who doesn't need to find
those from Santa Claus?
I wanted those from Santa Claus, but then I was like, a water.
Yeah, I thought about those from Santa Claus as well.
Very nice.
Me too. We all thought about it. Chi, you find a great sword of life stealing.
Oh yeah.
On a natural 20, you roll extra damage, which would then be added to your hit point total, or absorbed into you. It only works on a 20. Cloak of Elven Kind, and Pipes of the Sewers.
Of the sewers.
Yes.
Dude, you're gonna turn fucking all of us into the Pied Piper.
If people can play the pipes, they can summon a swarm of rats using the charge.
Wow.
That is great.
I rolled some interesting numbers on the table to be sure.
I mean, I don't know, I feel like that ability right there has a shitload of potential.
Hey, who doesn't want to fuck with the rats? So yeah, you guys.
I think we need.
those.
Yep, I think we need to sit down and have a
horseshoe of horse summoning.
What?
Horseshoe of horse summoning.
What is that?
Something I just made up for Yuri.
Oh. Yeah, I find steed, man. We have like a permanent steed all the time.
All right. When do you guys need to finish or be done?
I guess we were going to take a short rest and then check out that other door. But
Okay.
if you need to go, we can always.
Oh no, I'm worried about you guys.
Okay, can we take a short break, maybe? Just a couple minutes?
Sure.
Is everyone else fine going a little bit longer?
Yeah, I don't mind playing a little bit more.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, I want to know what's on the other side of that door. Hopefully more treasure.
Yeah, so I will be back in 5 minutes.
Cool. I'll be right back. Gonna get some water.
How long is the short rest?
1 hour.
So I'm going to have time to attune to this. All right. You gain 10 extra, or takes extra 10 necrotic damage if it isn't a construct or undead. Oh no, wait, I'm reading the wrong one.
Yeah, it's different online or in the DMG than it is on here. It says on this one, if you roll a 20, you roll 3d6 and you absorb those as temporary hit points. I'm going to try and get Discord to work on my computer again.
This one, Compendium, says you roll 3d6 necrotic and you gain that amount in temporary hit points. Is that what we're going with?
Let's go with what it says on Roll20, because that's what I pulled from the Compendium. I'm not sure which John prefers to use, so
yeah,
go
that's
with
what
Compendium
I'm
for now.
Compendium, so.
Let's see. Let's see if I can get Discord to work on here again.
Oh, that's cool. I only got 1 attuned item, so I'm good.
Hey, Discord does not like me. You know, outside.
really sucks to paladins do not regain.
Are we? Like, how do we do this? Because I think there's like 3 of us who wants the boots. Do we want to roll?
For what? Hit dice?
No, to see who gets the boot.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So here's the thing. In order to get rid of it, or in order to attune to it, I'd have to get rid of something I have.
Who wants the boots?
I only have 1 attunement. I think me, Pockets, and Typhon wanted it.
No, I as much as I want the boots, I'm full on attunement. So, have at 'em.
So I can get rid of. Where is that thing? Where's this? Huh. Okay. So won't let me share my cloak. I have a cloak of protection. And then I got a couple cool potions. Huh. It won't let me do my thing.
This is just a test.
All right. So if you guys want, roll for any items that you may potentially want. Give a roll for boots, or figure out how you guys want to do it. If you're really wanting them, I think roll is fair.
That's what I said. I would like the boots, but I think Typhon also wants the boots, and I thought Pockets did.
Oh, I very much was thinking about it, and then I decided to go with a cloak of protection instead.
Let's just roll for it.
So I'm good.
Okay, you got them.
Cool. I will move those over. Anything else people are wanting to roll for? You know, those pipes of the sewers?
I can't really use any of them.
Okay. Let me just grab the.
Technically, I could use the greatsword, but I have a
That'd be crazy.
So it'd be kind of pointless.
And I'd use a greatsword, but I only have 1 hand. And I wanted the boots because I can't climb anymore.
You need that feat where you can hold a 2-handed weapon in 1 hand.
I wanted the boots just because it's less likely for me to get hit now that I'm in the air casting the spells.
Yeah. Floating weapons platform is pretty nice. Okay.
Oh.
Well, I still can't die.
What?
Where does he have magic stuff? I'll have to move all your magic stuff after. But
Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. That's how it works.
yes, the ring. So, you guys are wanting to proceed down the stairs or try and open the door?
Down the stairs.
All right.
I regained 13 hit points, so that puts me there.
Sure, you run any dice.
We have the keys.
Everyone's back?
Yep.
Okay.
Do the keys come out of the door once we open it?
No, but what they do is as the keys go in and you slide them and you turn them, you watch as the center of this door all of a sudden just a seam kind of appears and forms, and you watch as it slowly just carries down the center. And then, like the doors you entered into this room, it just like all of a sudden you just hear a little click, and they seem to just pop and give way, like they could just be slid forward or backwards.
Nice. Yep, let's go.
All right. You go down the stairs through the door, and as you open it, You come into a small little chamber. As you're looking ahead of you, there's immediately a wall, and then you see a stairs going down to your left. Just check the lighting. Looking a little further, who's out front?
That would be me.
Typhon, you gaze out through this doorway and looking beyond, seeing this bit of the corner of the room. What you see is you see several constructs all of a sudden look up in your direction. But you're not immediately worried as you see that all 4 of them are currently strapped down into some sort of bed or examining table.
Oh, shit. Well, I look around for whatever is working on them. Oh, wow.
Just pull you guys in.
That is creepy as hell.
And you see as you come down, like, you watch as these constructs, some of them strapped down in different ways, some missing appendages, are just slamming their arms against the restraints, trying to get out. And all looking in your direction.
Damn.
I said we incapacitate these things permanently pretty quickly. Right quick.
Yeah, what?
I say we plunge all stabby instruments into the receptacles to power them off.
Yes.
Ivan doesn't like the idea, but he can't think of a better one. So we just get to work and just start fucking...
What do we see over here? What are these things?
You're just seeing empty chambers. A few of them. Give me an investigation check as you look into them.
Sure. Are they? I wonder if they're the chambers that make them. Oh, I don't see a thing.
It's really hard. Like, you're kind of scraping it, and there's just like this black ichor liquid inside. It's like really hampering your vision to even view in there. As the rest of your friends go about coup de grace these things, just taking your blades and slamming them into the brain casings. You watch as these things go still. They do make noise as you get closer, almost like these eerie robotic screams.
Oh my god!
Battle cries, like battle cries,
fucking
like
nightmares.
Like just this, but you would take it as this solid aggression, is what it is. These things you could tell definitely wanted to hurt you.
That's brutal as hell.
I'm afraid that these things are going to
Typhon just kind of moves on in a day.
Sorry, what was that? Sorry.
Oh, I'm just worried that these looks like tombs are going to open up and something's going to come out. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Upon saying that, Pockets goes to the other side and tries to look into one of the, looks at them and sees what he can figure out about them.
Sure. Give me an investigation check as Pockets. It's really dark in there.
Yours is as bad as mine.
Really dark in there. Like, you've got your face and like right up against it, and then you breathe on the glass and it fogs it even more. Like, it's just really hard to like get a view in. Like, can't even get your face closed without having the glass fog for some reason.
Looks like
What
there
are you doing?
2 control panels and a door.
I was just imitating Shadow.
Well done. Well played.
I haven't watched it here.
I will try to look into one.
Sure, give me an investigation check, please.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Paladin.
And I got a
-1.
That's a good.
You're taking a look into these, and you only catch it for a moment, just this brief reflection of the light from this room, just catching it. And you see what you think is a humanoid figure. It's hard to make out. You're only seeing this outline. But there's definitely something in there.
People, I looked in and there's something in here. It doesn't look like a construct. It actually looks kind of humanoid.
Why don't you crack it open?
What are these valves on the ground?
There's a valve.
Okay. Yeah, you guys get ready. I'm going to try to open this one. Try to open only one.
When he says, you guys get ready, Typhon moves over here.
So how are you trying to open it?
Does it look like there's any, like, hatchway, any seams that look like they come up for, like, a entry, door, portal? Does it look like a rectum?
Somewhat sealed shut. There is some sort of a clasp on the other side, some sort of lock. Just give me a dexterity check to see if you can figure it out. Are you turning that valve, Pockets?
Pockets, shut up. Do you want me to try this valve over here?
Yes.
I turn the valve.
Sure. And as you do that, you guys hear this chugging sound.
Uh-oh.
And as it happens, you watch as this dark ichorish fluid inside each one of these chambers slowly drains out. You watch as you see hair kind of protruding, especially for Yuchi and Typhon looking at these chambers.
I ready an action to attack whatever.
Turn it the other way.
How high is the roof here?
Turn it the other way.
As you do that, you watch as that hair falls with the level of the tank. As it gets down to about what would be a hip height, you watch as this fluid continues to drain. You see what must be some sort of dead entity inside each of these chambers.
Oh shit. I reach out with
Clearly rotted, and yeah.
I reach out with my sword and I tap on the glass.
You tap on the glass, there's nothing. No movement. Yeah. Whatever happened to them, they are long since dead.
Drain the other one just in case that fluid was keeping them alive and controlling the other constructs.
Pockets.
Here, control these ones.
No, you know how all the constructs that we've been finding around, maybe that fluid surrounding these bodies are, is a way that they're being controlled. These are actually the souls we keep finding, the brains.
Someone roll me a intelligence check.
That's not gonna be me.
Neither me.
Sure. Typhon, it would be something where you can tell you've seen Celia as well as a few of these other constructs there, and some of the writings that you had been found earlier. You probably piece together that the chambers themselves they're the brain chambers or containers are essentially what do power the construct with their own energy and life force. You're getting a sense that these were either potential candidates for transference or that they were test subjects for something more sinister.
I feel like we need to destroy all of this stuff.
Drain it.
Oh yeah, we drained it. So so looking in there, can I see what kind of humanoids they are? Like dwarves or elves or orcs?
You're taking a look, you'd be able to tell that they're elven, Being able to, and it's only by the points of the ears. As I believe his drow have pointed ears. Anyways, yeah. Anything else about them is you would have no idea. They're so rotted at this point and been floating in water. There's definitely, or floating in this fluid. It would be hard for you to determine their original race.
Okay, let's break the valves. And is there anything? Does it look like there's anything on these pods that I could break to keep them from being like filled back up or reused without taking a lot of time to repair?
Sorry, what are you trying to do with the pods?
I'm looking to see if there's anything that looks like I can break fairly easily that'll take a lot of time to repair so they can't be reused.
Sure. You probably would have... Give me an intelligence or wisdom check. Give me a wisdom check as you've kind of seen how this stuff works.
Nice.
You look over and you could smash every single one of these, or you could go over to this valve and just bend the crap out of it, and good luck having that thing replaced.
Break the valves.
So I'll say you go do that. You can give me an athletics check to see how long it takes you. What are Typhon and Pockets doing here? Is Sear-Sha doing anything?
Yeah, I was asking how tall is this room?
Sorry, the room is probably about 20 feet high. There is a bit of a doming at the top where it does get to about 30 feet high. It's a little more ornate. It seems like this laboratory was maybe a little bit more decorative as well.
Okay, I'm using my wing boots to keep myself 10 feet off the ground.
Okay.
I don't know what these guys are doing. And they're breaking stuff.
Okay.
I said back what I was doing and why, or at least announced it.
Pockets comes over here to this desk-looking thing, and any papers or books he finds, he's going to collect and slowly walk over to Sear-Sha and ask for the bag. If there's any papers to find.
Around with this gigantic bag over his shoulder like the fucking
papers.
Doing everything that's not nailed down.
Give me a perception check, Pockets and Sear-Sha, as you grab all these papers and drag them over. Oh my goodness.
They're okay.
You
just are like here.
Karma Sutra.
Oh, I have advantage though.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. As he's bringing stuff over, there is one particular book that stands out to you as being a little bit more refined and seems to be in good condition. There is also a stone object that he doesn't necessarily notice. He's just so busy putting papers, he doesn't even notice. He probably thought it was a paperweight. It is a square object, and the thing that stands out to you is there's like tiny little markings similar to those you saw on the Sunburst, but these ones are all throughout this cube.
All right, I'm going to point it out to Pockets while he's grabbing everything. Make sure you have a look at that there. Don't worry so much about the books, except for that nice one.
Well, can we still put the books in the bag, just in case?
Of course.
Okay.
And so after putting the books in the bag, he comes back, hefts the stone, and looks at it and sees these words like,
"Oh, right you were, miss. There's some interesting markings on the stone. I wonder what they do."
And he comes over and he gives the stone to Sear-Sha for closer examination.
Sure.
So we have a stone in a nicer book?
Yes, there's a stone in a nicer conditioned book. It just stands out to you.
All right, I think I'm going to look at the book first.
You're looking at which, sorry?
The book first.
The book? Give me a quick investigation check.
My skill.
You kind of begin looking through it, and what you're finding here is probably a little darker than what you were expecting. There's multiple references on experiments being done on the constructs with that were showing the free will and whatnot. Chemicals that were being added to their brain canisters or containers in order to try and break that. Different forms of torture, results, and ultimately the repeated failures that were occurring. You also find a ledger or a list of names within there of what are suspected to be candidates for testing, a ledger of names of suspected automatons, or I should say ID numbers for automatons that might be having free will or manifesting free will, and a list of automatons that have expressed free will. You also find reference to this individual talking about the key to the maker and its excellent design and elegant construction, so to speak, and its complexity. There's a slight sketch, and what you see is this stone before you, or the square cube.
Interesting.
Where to keep the matches?
So what
Sorry,
about this door in front of me and Shadow?
Give me investigation checks.
I would do that, yeah.
Say, for the sake of brevity, as you're looking into it, you can tell it's immediately not trapped. You're looking for those just in case. You're also looking for any sort of form of entry, anything involving tools which you can access, key marks, the sunbursts. You're not finding anything here. Just to roll things back, you guys did see, you just maybe forgot because Owen didn't mention it, there was a door within that forge area that did have a keyhole indentation into it, but this one was not a sunburst. It wasn't like your arm. It had a more pyramid or triangular kind of shape to it.
Okay. Is that the shape of that stone they found?
Sear-Sha, as you're looking at it, with using your previous investigation, you can tell that this item is too small to fit in there, as well as not the right shape. Give me a perception check as you're handling it.
Nice.
So, just as you're kind of holding on to it, you feel like this top portion twist. And as it does twist, you feel that cube all of a sudden just change shape immediately, forming a different sort of polyhedral shape.
Oh, wow.
Oh!
Thunder would be proud.
I'm going to hand it down to someone. Let them have it in case one of the ways you turn it ends poorly.
Now does it look like this shit?
Pockets, not thinking any better, start twisting it around.
We've got Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Oh, great. We're going to have
Sure.
a paladin with one arm and a thief with one arm.
So, Pocket, as you begin to like handle it, you're trying to twist bits, and you're just watching as it forms these different polyhedral shapes, sometimes expanding into a full sphere, and then you twist it and you watch as it then collapses, and it almost forms what look to be like molecule-like chains. And you just keep going, and you're really having a hard time figuring it out, like what you're really trying to do here. And it's almost like you maybe need to go back to camp and have someone spend some time with it so we can run another session.
Perfect.
But it's a lot of fun, by the way. Like, you're just like, there's so many shapes and colors involved. Actually, it's the same color. It's just the shadow of the room and not the cat.
So, Pockets, for some reason, is highly engrossed by this object and basically is just there playing with it until someone physically says, chase, and say, Pocket, we're leaving.
That's
Pockets,
exactly
roll me a d20 real quick.
All right.
I just want to see. Absolutely not. Yep, you are just enamored.
It would have been great if I rolled it.
Yeah, I would have had it form that shape. But, hey. So, that's where we're going to end the session, guys. You can all take some experience. I'll end the stream. I'm going to say, having no idea what you guys should be getting with the challenge rating of my monster you destroyed, take 1,500 apiece.
1,500?
Yes.
Sweet.
Very
I
long
am 2,000
session,
away
2,000.
from level 6.
Yes. Where is my...
That put me...
Right. Need to send John a message.
I have 925 points from level 6.
Dude, when you get level 6, we're gonna wreck shit. We'll be able to laugh in the face of dragons. It'll be awesome. Your charisma modifier.
Level 7.
So I want to need another. Well, hopefully.
You made level 7?
I said I need level 7.
My charisma modifier, 18.
Oh, so it's plus 4?
Yep.
Nice. So we'd have, you're level 6, we'd both have plus 7 to all our saving throws.
They don't stack.
Oh, they don't?
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Well, that's really unfortunate.
What doesn't stack?
The effects of the divine aura for saving throws.
Oh, yeah.
Most things don't stack in this game.
I need 14,000 for level 6, and I'm at 13,075.
Yeah, guys, that was a fun session.
Thanks so much, Jerry.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Hopefully, I don't have to do the Reddit for this for John, but if I do, oh well. And hopefully he's okay with you having wing boots, because you have them now.
I expect Pockets to write a whole 3 paragraphs on what he's doing with these books. I've had to carry it this entire dungeon. I expect 3 paragraphs of what you did with those books.
I already had a player character in mind that I've seen dealing with books, and I'm going to go give them to him.
Malik is gone.
Chris's new character had stuff to do with books too.
Bowden, is that it?
Bowden, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did. I think he posted something about that.
The one I smacked in the nose?
Yeah, everybody got 200 GP of residuum.
Nice.
Each of us?
Yep.
Yes.
That gives me 950 residuum.
Nice.
So who's taking the what's it called? The Cloak of Elvenkind?
I have it, but I don't know if I need it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only going to make you more stealthy. Like, you're outdoors. Like you'll be able to sneak better outdoors.
Yeah, I have too many magic items.
You really do.
We could always just put them into the treasury for someone else who might need it.
Yeah, I just need to make some decisions about what I'm going to keep.
Hey, did we
I'm not
ever
Go ahead.
do the loot from the last mission? I know it was on Facebook, but I don't know if we divided it up.
We never really got into it. We're going to have to talk to the Coats because they didn't really say much in regard.
Get going. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Yep. Good night.
Good night.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys next time if I DM, I'm going to research the characters and know if I'm coming up against a Typhon and what needs to be done in that regard.
Trust me, I think John's still trying to figure that out.
There's just going to be way more saving throws. Way more.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And you gotta find out what his
big, and he just like
interrogate that.
rock.
I also just needed to roll a 5 for recharge, and I didn't, so.
Did you get that one, Chad?
Very glad you did, because I'm not great at Constitution saving throws, and I got wrecked by the first one.
Oh, there is way more than that. There was a fire attack, a thunder attack, which you guys could have got knocked into the flaming pits.
Oh my
Well,
god.
that would have sucked.
And then there was, what was the other one? Lightning blast. I named these so well.
Oh, well, if I'm past the Dex one, I'm good at those, and I could have taken Shield Master. So the only one that was, like, terrible for me was Poison. That's the one I had.
Oh, the shockwave would have been bad for you, too, because that would have been a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, gosh. Ew. Ew. Ew.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
I didn't roll that well, so it's okay.
Nice.
Yeah, Typhon. When I hit level
What?
6.
I'm level 7.
Yeah, when I hit level 6, I'm going to take.
Who took the cloak?
Storm
Shadow has the cloak.
Okay, I'm just going to leave it with you.
Yep.
Perfect. Wing boots, Sear-Sha, great sword, chi, pipes. You're just keeping Sear-Sha to give to someone else?
Do what?
I think the idea is to give the pipes to Lelevos.
Lelevos?
Yeah.
Alright, I will put them in Lullabus's thing as well as Sears, and then if she so decides to give them,
Did you know that this whole thing took place on the 7 Rian, or did this cross over into 8 Rian?
I think this would have had to have crossed over to 8 because you guys would have had nothing left.
Okay, cool.
Because, not a whole day hasn't gone by. There's no way Typhon would have had spell slots.
Okay, cool.
She would have been down as well.
Yeah, I was just trying to, because I know the post
I
I had
actually
made
don't
was
use
like,
that many spell slots when I'm fighting.
was like forming the team
Oh,
on 7.
well, yeah, I would have.
Devastation.
Shit, I think my last game was
No.
2 days ago, like in game. Like the last thing Typhon did. Fought some
I
drow.
guess. But you just fought a giant construct on 7.
Oh, that's true.
I'm imagining some smites would have been used. So this probably would have happened first thing in the morning on 8.
Smites work really well against large constructs.
Yeah. Well, this one didn't have the adamantine requirements or anything like that. He wasn't finished. Does anyone know Lullabus's name on here?
Jason?
Jason Porteous. I'm gonna go have a cigarette and then I'm gonna work on this beautiful Typhon.
There he is.
So at level 6, I'll be able to speak primordial, and I'll be able to talk to the fish people.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I get a 10-foot flying speed. I'm taking Storm Sorcerer, at least one level in Storm Sorcerer.
Oh, really?
Yep.
They're taking some levels in Radiant.
I mean, think about it. Shield.
Right. They also get a spell called False Life, which I really fucking want.
Yeah.
Another nice
False
thing is that
life,
he can get a ranged damage cantrip, so he has a ranged option.
Yeah.
Like Chill Touch, Firebolt.
Oh, I'm thinking Firebolt. I think Typhon casting Firebolts is metal as hell. I'll mostly take like buffs and defensive spells, and then all my offensive spells will be fire.
So if I kept this up at 6th level, I'd gain resistance to lightning and thunder damage.
That's pretty fucking sweet.
And whenever I cast a 1st level spell or higher that deals lightning or thunder damage,
so there's a tiefling
any creature within 10 feet
Thank
of
you,
me
Jeremy.
takes lightning and thunder damage. Lightning or thunder damage equal to half my sorcerer level.
A tiefling with the Infernal Constitution racial feat and a few levels in Storm Sorcerer would have resistance to fire, cold, lightning, and thunder damage. Like all dragons, but maybe a block dragon.
At 18th level, you gain immunity to lightning and thunder damage. And you gain a magical flying speed of 60 feet. Oh my god. Okay. So at 18th level, you gain flying speed of 60 feet. As an action, you can reduce your flying speed to 30 feet for 1 hour and choose a number of creatures within 30 feet of you equal to 3 plus your charisma modifier. The chosen creatures gain a magical flying speed of 30 feet for 1 hour. So I could make everybody in the party fly if we were 18th level.
Dude, I want to take some levels in Sorcerer so I can get higher level spell slots so I can cast bigger, better buffs on everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, like supercharged, like casting Aid at like 5th level would be fucking crazy.
Oh yeah. Where is my? There it is. Yeah, so I was like, damn, 925 for the next level. Okay, so I get 4 cantrips, 2 known first level spells, and 2 first level spell slots. So that gives me 6 first level spell slots, right? Because no, 4 first level spell slots because I already got 2.
What are you trying to figure out if you take 1 level sorcerer?
Yeah.